On the small island of Barbados, a nation spanning just over 400 square kilometers with a population of around 250,000, cricket is more than just a sport, it is a legacy. The island may be a mere dot on the world map, but its impact on cricket is enormous, having produced legendary cricketers like the 3W, Gary Sobers, Wes Hall, Charlie Griffith, Gordon Greenidge, Joel Garner, Desmond Haynes, Malcolm Marshall, Kemar Roach, Craig Brathwaite, and Jason Holder. Among these greats, one man stood tall as a pioneer, a leader, and a symbol of change, Frank Worrell. Born on August 1, 1924, in Barbados, Frank Worrell grew up just a short distance from the historic Kensington Oval, the heart of Barbadian cricket. The sounds of leather on willow and the cheers from the stands were part of his childhood, fueling his dream of representing the West Indies. His talent was evident from a young age, and he soon found himself playing for the Barbados team, making his debut in 1941 at just 17 years old. In 1947, Worrell faced a major personal change when his mother moved to New York, and his father, a seafarer, spent much of his time away. This prompted young Frank to move to Jamaica, where he continued to develop his cricketing prowess. From that moment on, he would represent Jamaica in domestic cricket until his retirement in 1964. Frank Worrell's international debut for the West Indies came in 1947 against England. The same year, he ventured into English county cricket, signing with Lancashire. However, it was in 1950 that he truly made his mark on the cricketing world. During the West Indies tour of England, he played a breathtaking innings at Trent Bridge, scoring 261 runs, a performance that cemented his reputation as a world-class batsman. His excellence was recognized in 1951 when he was named one of Wisden's Cricketers of the Year. Despite his growing stature, the cricketing world of that era was deeply rooted in racial prejudice. West Indies cricket was dominated by white cricketers, and a black player had never captained the team. The esteemed historian and journalist C.L.R. James led a campaign against this discrimination, advocating for change. The movement bore fruit when Frank Worrell became the first black cricketer to captain the West Indies team for an entire series. Worrell's first major assignment as captain was the 1960-61 tour of Australia. At the time, test matches were often drawn-out affairs, lacking excitement. But Worrell, alongside Australia's captain Richie Benaud, decided to revolutionize the game by adopting an aggressive approach. The result was one of the most thrilling test series in cricket history, culminating in the first-ever tied test match. The gripping contest kept fans on the edge of their seats, and although West Indies lost the series 2-1, their fearless cricket won global admiration. So much so that, at the end of the tour, the West Indies team was honored with a ticker tape parade in Australia, a recognition rarely accorded to visiting teams. While Frank Worrell was known for his aggressive leadership on the field, he displayed another remarkable facet of his character during India's tour of the West Indies in 1962. Indian captain Nari Contractor was struck on the head by a fierce bouncer from Charlie Griffith and needed an immediate blood transfusion to survive. Without hesitation, Worrell was the first to donate blood, an act that ultimately saved Contractor's life. In 1963, under Worrell's leadership, West Indies toured England and emerged victorious with a 3-1 series win. It was a fitting swan song for Worrell, who retired from Test cricket after the series, leaving behind a batting average of 49.48, an extraordinary feat for any era. Beyond cricket, Worrell was a visionary who strongly advocated for a political union between the Caribbean nations. His leadership extended beyond the boundary ropes when he was appointed to the Jamaican Senate, where he continued his work for regional unity. After retirement, Worrell remained deeply involved in cricket. He managed the West Indies team during their 1964-65 home series against Australia and accompanied them on their 1966-67 tour of India. However, during the tour, he was diagnosed with leukemia. Tragically, he passed away within a month of returning to Jamaica in 1967. The world of cricket lost a true gentleman, a leader, and an inspiration, whose contributions went far beyond the game itself. To honor his legacy, the Test series between West Indies and Australia was named the Frank Worrell Trophy, a testament to his impact on the game. His generosity and kindness also inspired the Frank Worrell Memorial Blood Donation Drive in Trinidad and Tobago, initiated in 2009. At the inaugural event, Nari Contractor, the man whose life Worrell had helped save, was invited to launch the campaign. In India, the Cricket Association of Bengal organizes annual blood donation drives on Sir Frank Worrell Day, a tribute to his selfless act. Remarkably, Worrell's influence even extended into Indian street food culture. In 1969, in Mumbai, an entrepreneurial couple named Amarjit Singh and Surinder Kaur Tib began selling wraps from the back seat of their car. Lacking a name for their creation, they decided to call it Frankie, inspired by their favorite cricketer, Frank Worrell. Today, Tib's Frankie is an iconic brand in India, and the term Frankie has become synonymous with wraps in the country. Frank Worrell's legacy is one of excellence, leadership, and humanity. He was more than just a cricketer, he was a pioneer who broke racial barriers, an advocate for unity, and a man whose kindness and sportsmanship inspired generations. His contributions to West Indies cricket set the stage for their dominance in the 1970s and 1980s, and his name continues to be revered, not just in the Caribbean but across the cricketing world.